What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're here to talk about some football, the recap over this past weekend with the NCAA Power 5 teams. There was a lot of missteps by my part in my prediction video and picks. There was a lot. I fumbled the bag. There was a lot of dreams and a lot of hope and a lot of believing. But from this point on, we're probably not going to do a lot of believing. We're going to stick with the facts and how these teams actually are performing, and more of a wishy-washy dream. But we're here to talk about upsets. We're going to talk about the notable upsets today. So we have Oklahoma, Texas. I have the scores up on the screen. I have what the over and under was right when I made my prediction video, and I got some reasons on why Texas lost this game. Texas had over 3 turnovers this game. Not good. Texas had bad defense. Like, if you watch that last portion of the game, Texas just could not stop anything. Just nothing at all. Overall, I was looking at the data, and I watched the game. Overall, it was pretty 50-50 on all the points. Texas had more yards, a lot of things, actually. It's just those 3 turnovers, they might have happened at the beginning, but they still were very impactful. And then just the bad defense overall. They did not cover. They are under. They did not cover the regular spread. So that's cool. The next one, I also, in the corner, I'll put if my prediction was right about winning or losing. Not necessarily about the over, under, whatever. But USC, Arizona, this game was crazy. Started 17-0 Arizona on top. Then USC goes in, starts taking advantage of the lackluster ability of Arizona. One thing leads to another. 2 missed field goals one missed field goal by both teams, and Noah Fifita had over 506 yards. 506 yards on this USC defense. Does this coach for USC know what defense is? When he was at Oklahoma, he did not know what defense was there. He had here, and they don't know what defense is. Arizona had 35 minutes of time of possession. Noah was throwing the ball like he's a Heisman candidate. They definitely covered the over. USC, their defense did step up right there at the end with the 2-point conversion, but that was a mistake. The fact that there was all of these mishaps. Arizona should have kicked that field goal, made it in. USC should have freaking actually snapped the ball correctly, and they would have won the game without having to go into OT. But I don't know why USC was ever put in this position. It was at home. They just coming off a big win against Colorado. Like, I don't know. USC is a joke. I think they have a really good offense, a really good coach, really good offense, good recruits, but their defense needs to step it up or they're not going to the playoffs. Next, we have a very high-scoring game that I only had one reason for, which was bad defense on both parties, but mostly MSU because they were the undefeated team. They just could not stop anything. This game was a lot closer than the score is showing right now. It's just 10 points, which kills the people who voted the under for the 6.5. They covered the spread, but that was due to a late interception. Like, it was a field goal game. And when they threw that interception, it was all lost, and then Missouri goes down and kicks another and misses the field goal. But that was all within like 60 seconds on the play clock. It was a lot closer than this. It was a lot closer than 10 points than the score is showing. I don't think Missouri should get kicked out of the rankings just because of how close this was, but they should definitely go down to like 24, 25 just because. And then LSU, they shouldn't even move because they have 2 losses. They're the only 2 losses they're only 2-loss team in the top 25, which is kind of crap because there's teams that are just not 2-loss teams that are also in there. Hashtag Iowa Hawkeyes. Next notable game was the Alabama-Texas A&M game. Everyone was giving me crap because I had Texas A&M beating Alabama. And if you watch this game, Alabama had 23 yards rushing. 23 yards rushing. 2 turnovers. They punted the ball 6 times. There was a safety late in the game. I think if there was no safety, I think there was a better chance that Texas A&M could have because what happened was when Texas A&M got safe, there was a safety. Then Alabama gets the ball and runs more clock down. Like if Texas A&M wasn't going to get that safety, I think there could have been a higher chance for Texas A&M to come back and like maybe tie the game. But they just couldn't capitalize on all the mistakes that Alabama was giving them, and ultimately Alabama came out on top. But like I said, Alabama is not as good as they used to be. They're going to get another loss, maybe two, just by the way they're, unless they just like miraculously get a better offense, because 23 yards rushing is unacceptable. Their overall yardage was like all right, but like it still wasn't very good. Like they need to step it up. They need to get more first downs. They need to be able to move the ball if they want to compete. Texas A&M had a chance, but they just couldn't cover. But it was an upset that I had Texas A&M winning by a lot, but wishful thinking. Another interesting notable game was the UCLA Washington game, Washington State. UCLA is a pretty good team. Washington State fumbled the bag right here with 4 turnovers. Literally fumbled the bag. Also, Pac-12 Network is abysmal. I tried to watch that game. Like, I didn't watch this game. I watched the highlights without audio, like with my own music playing, because the actual game itself, the announcers sounded like they were like talking through like a hand radio.
Yardage has been excellent. Not there.
It was so muffled, so scratchy. It was it was unwatchable. Pac-12 Network is God. Oh, it's bad. It's just a overall bad network. Yeah. And then UCLA had 40 minutes of time of possession. That's impeccable. Almost 40. It was like 37. Washington State had like 4:23 or some crap like that. But it was bad. It was 37-23 or something like that. It was almost double. UCLA had the ball so much. Washington State, they just couldn't capitalize on some of the things they needed, but their defense did not show up today. Did not show up because 470 yards total, and then I think they only had like 200 at best. I think there was just double all around for UCLA. The Bruins were just killing it. It was bad. This game, Miami should have won. They should have won this game. There was a lot of mistakes, but Miami was up. They were winning with all of these mistakes, and then they decide to, on the 40, I think it was like 40 seconds left, instead of kneeing the ball, they decide we're gonna run the ball and fumble it, and then Georgia Tech gets the ball and runs it all the way down the field and freaking scores. Miami gave up. Miami had 453 yards of total offense. They were killing this Georgia Tech team when it came to like quality control. The problem was Miami had 4 turnovers before the last play. Then they turned the ball over a 5th time right there at the end with a fumble. Literally, and then the announcer said, "Why are they running the ball? They could fumble it, and then they'll just give it back to Georgia Tech." And literally, boom, fumble.
Before a second, just take a knee. Like, you should not be handing this football off. Right. I don't know what Miami is doing.
That's it.
It was like, this was a fun game. Like, yes, Louisville took control, but Louisville is on the come up. Louisville, I'm a believer in Louisville. They came into this game minus the 7, and they won by 13. Notre Dame also had 5 freaking turnovers. Overall, Notre Dame performed pretty well. Like, their overall stats, their first downs, their third down conversions, their quarterback, and all that good stuff was pretty on par with what Louisville was offering. But Notre Dame just kept turning the ball over. Like, I was watching this. I was at a festival yesterday, and I was watching on my phone for a little bit, and I just kept seeing Notre Dame just giving the ball up. I'm like, oh, this is my heart. This was one of those upsets that I had Louisville winning anyway. As you can see, a little right up in the corner there. And everyone was giving me crap in the comments, but look who it is, Louisville there. I know there was a lot of upsets, and I know there was a lot of bad picks, but some of them, you can't hit them all. You can't hit 100% here. Next game, Wyoming, Fresno State. I had this score almost down to the letter. I had Wyoming 24, and I had Fresno State 21. 19 is close. I should be a prophet. But anyway, they were the under. They didn't get over the over, I think. Yeah, it was not over. But one of the problems, I couldn't find a lot of information on why Fresno, because I didn't watch the game, but but I watched the highlights of the game and like was reviewing some of the stats. Wyoming had 27 first downs, while Fresno had like 10. That's notable. That's a notable thing. Wyoming was also up 24-7 at halftime. So I don't know what happened to Fresno. They just like did not play football. Wyoming was just playing clean, efficient ball, and then in the second half, Wyoming just like fell apart. They just couldn't score. They're lucky Fresno State didn't score more points because, yeah, as you can see, they didn't score for 2 quarters. My prediction of what the playoff is going to be is this is not wishful thinking. This isn't dreams. I have Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Washington 3, Oklahoma 4. Just based off things. ACC is on the bubble because I want Louisville in there, but Florida State's also really good. So Florida State probably could fit in there for Oklahoma interchangeably because ACC has a tougher schedule than Oklahoma. Oklahoma plays like one ranked team the entire season. It's like 1 or 2 ranked teams the entire season, while Florida State and Louisville had to play ranked opponent after ranked opponent after ranked opponent. Same with Washington. Washington just has a way better schedule than the Big 12. I think if all these teams, if Michigan, Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, the Michigan, Georgia, Washington go undefeated, or Oregon, I have them in the bubble too, go undefeated, they're always a better bid than the Big 12. And same with the ACC. If one of those 2 teams at the bottom go undefeated, then there is no question that the Big 12 is not going to make it because Big 12 schedule, especially Oklahoma's schedule, is not very good. Like if Texas was undefeated, that would be a different story. They have an Alabama under their belt, blah blah blah. But Oklahoma, they haven't played anybody. They don't play anybody. Yeah, but I want Louisville. I want Louisville in the come up. This is my dream playoff right here. My dream playoff scenario is Georgia, Louisville, Washington, Penn State. I don't want Michigan. I don't want Ohio State in there. I want the Nittany Lions a chance before the 12 expansion. Georgia, they don't play anybody, so they're just automatic bids. Washington, this is their year. They have all those seniors. And Louisville, this is their chance to shine. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Peace.